Hey, Chief Day, we're having a difficult time hearing you right now through this Zoom call. So we're going to try to clean up that audio, whether it's on your end or ours. And actually, I'm being told now that we can hear you loud and clearly. So I apologize for going backwards a little bit here. But could you just repeat what you were saying about the timing here this morning, the decision to not do this during the overnight hours, but actually do it once day broke, right around 6 a.m.?
Right. And just confirm you can hear me okay now?
We can hear you.
Loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, that this was a criminal event, no longer a public order event, and we needed to make sure that we had all the resources in place to be able to appropriately respond and keep everyone safe, including police and protesters, members of the Portland State, etc.
And Chief Day, I'm just curious, on our end, right before 9 o'clock this morning, we saw what appeared to be a bit of a mass exodus of people running out of that library. From our vantage point, from our reporters who were on campus, they couldn't see what happened to those protesters. Can you clarify for us what may have happened to those protesters who made a run for it?
Yeah, so we've been methodically clearing the building, going floor by floor. And obviously, we created enough pressure in that process that several decided to run out of the building. Some of them were taken into custody. Some of them were able to flee. That doesn't change our resolve in terms of investigations and supporting Portland State University and presenting cases to the district attorney's office for follow-up at a later date. We were clear that anyone inside the building and violating the perimeter we've set up could and will be arrested for trespass. So those charges are still available. But in terms of safety for everyone involved, obviously we weren't able to arrest all the people who ran out, but there were some custodies.
Chief Day, clearly you're working closely with Portland State on this sort of event. Can you talk to me about that relationship? Who's making the call here? Do they ask you to come in to begin with? At that point, is it you're allowed to use any means possible, so to speak? I'm just curious, who's making the call on how to address the situation when it's happening inside a university library? Yeah,
correct. So PSU has legal authority over the property, right? This is their property. So it did require a request of assistance, which we did receive from President Cudd. I've been in communication with her all week and have appreciated her cooperation. And we've been working with their leadership regularly, trying to make sure that we're all in alignment with our goals and unified in our efforts. And so all of these actions that are being taken in conjunction with them. And simply stated, they don't have the resources and the ability to manage this. That's why they needed our assistance. But we're working side by side and unified in our messaging and in our attempt to resolve this as peacefully as possible.
And I'm curious, Chief Day, you talked about criminal trespass here. That is a charge that some of these folks who have hunkered down inside the library could be facing. What kind of fines or jail time might that mean?
Well, the district attorney is really in charge of determining those things. So I would defer to his office, but I will tell you that the district attorney's office is on the ground with us. We've been speaking, I've been speaking with Mike Schmidt daily, and I'm confident that those cases will be presented to him. And if the evidence demonstrates it, that will be prosecution and follow through, which I'm encouraged by.
And I know we've been keeping tabs on your social media, on PPB's social media, and we've seen a video of the officers going through methodically, as you said, slowly making their way through the floors. I'm curious, what tools have officers had to deploy? Because I know there were rumors that there was tear gas used. Of course, on social media, Portland police dispelled those rumors. But what did you have to deploy in terms of the tools?
Yeah, so we have a variety of tools that allow us to gain entry into areas that are fortified. Some of them are pretty common, a chainsaw or a still saw, something that can cut through a barrier. I'm not aware of exactly what is used today, but I do know that, we have a variety of resources available to us, and they were needed because several of the areas we encountered had been fortified. Fortunately, we were able to do that once again in a safe way. Didn't allow for anybody on the other side of the wall to be injured, and also for our officers to be able to proceed cautiously. So it worked out well to this point. We're clearly not done yet, but at this stage we seem to be in a good place.
Chief Day, in the last 20 minutes or so, in addition to some of the arrests that we've seen with our own TV cameras, we also reported that Portland State ordered a shelter in place for Montgomery and Blackstone Hall. So I'll repeat that information again. A shelter in place is in order right now for both Montgomery and Blackstone Halls. That sort of announcement, is that something that you suggest be done? Is that something that the university decides on its own? How does a shelter in place order like that come to be?
Well, we're in constant communication today. They have representatives from their security team in our command post. So those decisions are being made in the moment with the review of the incident commander. But I would encourage anyone paying attention and watching that, we don't need more folks downtown around Portland State at this time. I think this is going to be resolved here in a reasonable period of time where we're going to be able to turn the university back over to Portland State and resume normal campus behaviors, and I'm really looking forward to that. But for right now, we just need the space to be able to work to make sure that everyone stays safe.
And one more question before we let you go, Chief. You had just mentioned the protesters on campus. Earlier, we know that you guys have set up a perimeter there, and earlier you guys tweeted out that there was between Southwest Harrison and Southwest College being closed, and any individual entering that perimeter would be arrested. Would that apply to some of these protesters who are currently on campus?
Yeah, if people violate the perimeter and violate the direction given on the ground there, then they could be subject to arrest, yes.
All right, Chief Bob Day with Portland Police joining us live here this morning. We appreciate your time. We know you're very busy today, of course. We appreciate that you joined us here live on TV this morning. We are